Hello everyone, and welcome to Going the Distance. Our next video project is going to be a how-to video. So when I ask you to make a how-to video, it really just needs to be about something that you know how to do. And you'll make a video on how to do the thing. So let's take a look at an example that I made of how to boil an egg. Hello everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to boil an egg. You might say to yourself, Mr. Wheeler, I know how to boil an egg. Do you though? Because I feel like a lot of the times when I have boiled eggs with someone, they tend to overcook them and the yolk tends to get really dry and almost chalky. So I'm going to show you how to perfectly boil an egg. Is you fill a pot with water. Put that pot of water on the stove and turn your temperature to maximum heat. And now we wait for the water to boil. Now the water is boiling, I'm going to put my eggs into the boiling water. Make sure that the eggs are completely submerged in the water. And once the water reaches a boil again, which it is currently doing, I'm going to set a timer for 7 minutes. While the water is boiling, I'm going to get a bowl full of ice water. And now I'm going to set this bowl of ice water, let's move this candle out the way, and put it next to my pot of boiling eggs. And again, we're going to wait for the timer to end. Okay, timer is now up, so we're going to turn the heat off and pull this off from the heat. And now we're going to whisk these eggs from out of the water and drop them into the ice water. So the reason why we used ice water here is because we want to stop the cooking process. And by stopping the cooking process, we are going to prevent the eggs from continuing to use the residual heat from the boil and mess up the egg yolk. Okay, now my eggs are boiled and peeled and ready to eat. So as you can see over here, when you boil them for 7 minutes, you get a nice custardy kind of interior on your eggs. It's not runny, it's not really solid, it's just kind of like nice and sticky and gooey. And even better, just take a little bit of mold and salt and sprinkle it on top of the egg like that. And there you go, that's your lunch. When you don't overcook the yolks, they have a nice custardy texture in the mouth, and of course, that's where the flavor is. These, of course, are also wonderful with a bowl of ramen, if that's anything any of you are into. Otherwise, boiled eggs. As you can see, that was rather a basic video, because boiling an egg isn't really that difficult, and I'm sure some of the things that you find really easy to do aren't difficult for you, but they might be difficult for other people. So your how-to video just needs to be a step-by-step, exactly what it is a person needs to do in order to do the thing that you made your video about. For the rest of this video, I'm going to show you how I made my video using DaVinci Reslolve 16. So if you have a PC or a Mac and you're looking for a free app that you can use to make videos, I had a really positive experience with the app, and I'm going to show you how to do it. But before I get there, I just want to outline my expectations for this video. Number one, it's a how-to video. Number two, I want you to edit together different bits of footage. I've noticed in some of the videos I've been watching, I'm just getting like one take that you haven't really even edited. So I do want you to show me some editing skill here, and I do want you to add some visual flair. Now in this aspect, the visual flair, some of you have done a really good job on this. So, video about how to do something, you probably want to take different cuts of different sections of you doing the thing, and then you need to edit it together. I don't just want one take, and you're going to then add some visual flair to make it look cool. So let's now take a look at my run through of DaVinci Resolve and how I made the video that you just watched. All right, let's open DaVinci Resolve. All right, so I have DaVinci Resolve open, so I'm going to start a new project, and I'm going to call it How To, because this is my how-to video. And this looks very different from what we used to with Final Cut Pro, but this app is actually quite similar, and I don't think anyone should have any problem with this. So over here on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see no clips in the media pool. So all I do is I right-click and then import media. And then I have all the files I need to make my video. So I will import these. And there you go. Now I have all my videos imported into my viewer over here. When you look at your videos like this, you can actually scrub through them and check to see which video it is. Just like Final Cut Pro, this is super easy to use. All you need to do is just drag your file down into your timeline, and I'm pretty sure this is the right video. Let's see. Hello everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to. Okay, so this is the right one. So what I'm going to do here, because I was just filming this on my cell phone, before each time I talk there's a bit of a time frame between when I started recording, when I talk, when I finish talking, and when I stop recording. So I'm just going to cut all the nonsense out. And this is really the problem that I've had with some videos thus far, is it's really just you sitting there, and I want you to cut out all the extra time so that you don't have a 6-minute long video that could have really been like a 3 or 4 minute video. So I'm going to cut this down. And you can do that by just moving your playhead to your cut point, and then you click on the scissors, and you see here I now have 2 different clips. So I'll click on the clip I don't want and delete, and that part is done. And I'll go to the end here. Boil an egg. And I want to cut over here as well, so I'll cut and delete. And that's really, that's it. Like, that's how easy this app is to use. And as you can see, this is really all I'm doing. I'm just going through my clips, and I am lining them up and cutting all the extra parts out. And that's really all there is to it. So I'm going to break here, and then I'll come back once I've just done my quick edit, and I'll show you some other things that you can do with this app. All right, let's take a look at another couple of tricks you can do. So when I was filming, when I looked over this section where I'm filling a pot full of water, I realized that I can just speed this up. So in my tools over here, I can change the speed to, let's make it like 4 times fast. And so here, when I watch it again, water. It sped that little section up. So this is a really cool tool for speeding things up. Another thing in DaVinci Resolve is that you can also put markers in. Like you see over here, I have a marker just by pressing the M key. And we should be used to doing this in Final Cut Pro. So the same sort of thing happens here. So I'm going to put this picture of an egg next to this marker. And again, just like Final Cut Pro, we have layering where we can take pictures and put them on top of our video. So I'm going to cut this off a little bit, so it's just showing the egg. And then if I come up to this area, let me bring my playhead over a bit more. I don't need this whole egg in the middle of the picture here, so I can just go, this is like a transform tool, and I can just move this egg. Let's move it to the left a little bit. Actually, how about we just make this smaller? There you go. And now I can then just move this egg over to the corner of the screen, just like that. Boil an egg. And then I also talk about people overboiling eggs. So overcook them, and the yolk. Okay, I missed my cue here. It should be. This is Java, my mark. You see, I used M to add my marker over here, and I found a picture of someone who overboiled an egg, which is super gross. Overcook them, and the yolk tends to get really dry and. Okay, I'm happy with how much of time this takes. So again, I have my transform tool, and I can just move this around, and I'm going to put it on the right of me again. Make my Y 0 so it is centered. So again, just like in Final Cut Pro, we can just add images on top of our video. You can use the transform tool, you can use the crop tool, you can add speed, you can stabilize your camera if you're a bit shaky when you're holding it. And then of course there are some color modes you can do. All the things that we're used to using are here in DaVinci Resolve. The only thing I have left to do is just add some titles and a couple more pictures to the video, so you don't really need to see me tinkering around with that for the rest of this video. If you know how to use Final Cut Pro, then you know how to use DaVinci Resolve. It is very intuitive, and it is very similar to what we're used to using in class. So if you are fortunate enough to have a computer or Mac, then I highly recommend that you get DaVinci Resolve 16 installed in your computer, because I found that this app was significantly easier to use than diddling around on my phone for the previous video. So if I didn't already have Final Cut Pro, this is the app I would definitely be using. And that's it, everyone. Pretty simple app. It's very much like Final Cut Pro, just lacking a couple of features. It's free, and that's probably the best thing about it for all of us. So I hope some of you have the equipment that you can use to use DaVinci Resolve 16. Otherwise, if you don't have a computer, or at least you don't have something that can run video editing, then just keep on making videos on your phones. I've really enjoyed the videos I've seen so far, and I look forward to going the distance with you for the end of the school year.